So, hello everyone. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. So, thank you all for joining my session. So, today I'm going to share my journey of pairing and learning as part of my testing tour. So, um, so quickly, sorry, Yeah. So what you can expect from my session today is I'm going to share some of my challenges of being a solo tester and why testing tour and how did I start it and what kind of tools did I use and some kind of learnings. I'm going to share all of these today in my session. So before even I start, let me tell you something about myself. So I'm Parveen Khan, and I'm a senior test engineer at Square Marble Technology, which is based in London, UK. So I'm a quality advocate, and I kind of like collaborating with the teams to deliver high quality products to the users. So as you can see, I'm from the picture that I'm mom of two, and this was a family picture which was taken when we were traveling. So, okay, talking about traveling, let me ask you a quick question. Um, do you all like traveling? So, of course, we are virtual, so I cannot see you nodding. So, can you all share any of your favorite emoji, or maybe if you can share your feelings in like by sharing a GIF image in the chat? I'll pause for a while you share how you feel about do you like traveling. So, so for those of you all who said like you like traveling, I would like to ask another question, like why do you like traveling? So, can you share one or two words in the chat to say why you like kind of traveling? And I'll check after our session. So I also asked the same question on social media, on Twitter, to different people, and this is what people said about it. So I think my slides are not working. Yeah. So some people said, okay, I usually, the few people said, okay, I like traveling because they like to explore, and few people said that they like traveling because they get to see new cultures, and few people said they like traveling because they can explore food and a lot of different opinions from different people. And of course, some people said they get surprises as well. So everyone shared their own different feelings, and I saw some commonalities between these. And one of the so some of the commonalities between them were like, okay, they all liked to travel, they all like to explore food, they all like to explore cultures, and of course they liked the surprise element as well. So now, why am I sharing all this with you? Because I had similar kind of experiences, and it is so relevant to what I'm going to talk about today, which is doing testing tours, which is very similar to traveling, where you have to pair with different people and explore and learn. So let me share my challenges being a solo tester before even I start telling you about what exactly a testing tour is. So I was a solo tester on a team most of my career, and in fact, even now, I'm a solo tester in my current company. So I'm the only tester on the team, and I'm kind of in charge of setting up the processes, and I kind of need to figure out what need to be automated and what not. So I'm pretty much the person who owns testing. So although I have a lot of power, but that comes with its own set of challenges, right? It's like just like how in Spider-Man, there's like in Spider-Man movie, there's a famous phrase called "with great power comes great responsibilities too," right? So same thing applies to me as well. So being a solo tester, these were some of the challenges. Um, so I never got chance to pair or share some ideas with any of the tester. I could not learn, I could not collaborate or interact with other testers, and I never had a sounding board to share ideas. So again, and I'm mom of two, and I couldn't attend any of the meetups, which are usually after work to enhance my skills or to learn new technologies or to network with different people. I always wanted to learn new things, but learning on my own was very difficult. I was going through all these things as a solo tester, all these challenges, and I always had a list of like blogs, videos, or books to read, but never got enough time or motivation to do it on my own. So, and I didn't wanted to limit myself by just learning what's needed on my current project or the tools that I use on my current company. So I wanted to learn more. So I was in this situation and I desperately needed some kind of help where and I needed some way to connect with different people where I can brainstorm my ideas and then learn from them. So that's where Testing Tour helped me with. And Testing Tour is what exactly Testing Tour is. So it is about pairing up with different people to learn about different topics for an hour or two, depending on how long you can spend your time. And it kind of gave me a framework which helped me tackle a few of the challenges which I mentioned earlier in my previous slide. And I started going on this testing tour back in November 2019. So I said testing tour is all about pairing, right? But why pairing? Pairing is like it allows, we all know, like it allows us to have knowledge sharing. We can share our knowledge together, and there are like having like one single head is better than two different heads, right? Two modes of thinking. So you can brainstorm your ideas and you can share your ideas and learn quickly, and it helps you keep focus as well. So this is why pairing is so keeps you more productive and motivated as well. So, okay, now we know I shared what exactly testing tour is. So, how did I start it? Now, let's talk about how I started on with it. Okay, so when we go on a traveling, we do some kind of planning, right? So we decide which place we would like to go, and like we kind of book some tickets for it, or we pack some bags, or like we kind of do some kind of planning, right? So similarly, I had to plan what topics I wanted to pair up on and with whom, and I had to plan with like to start with. I just planned with 2 or 3 topics to decide it, and I didn't want to come up with all lot of topics and do a lot of planning in the beginning, and so I decided to start with two topics within my mind, 2 or 3 topics, and then get along and then come up with more topics, right? So I wanted to and also I wanted to make sure I document all my learnings whenever I'm pairing with someone. And I was thinking of best ways to do that. Like, you know what? And then I thought, okay, I should blog about it, because when I write about things, I learn and I remember. So, and it also gives me an opportunity to share with others and with other people, like about what I'm learning as well. So, and then, yeah, enough of planning. And then I started off my testing tour, and I kicked off by having sessions with different people, and and like it continued, and I kind of had sessions with different people joining in from different locations and different time zones, like being remote, and especially during this pandemic, like COVID-19 situation where we all are in remote. I feel it's more powerful for me. Like it gave me an opportunity to pair up with different people from different countries and different time zones, which I could have never done if I had to visit people physically for like having each of these sessions. So uh, it's been 7 months now as I've started my testing tour. So as I said, I started in November 2019. So it was like from people from 8 different countries, 7 months, and it took 7 months, and I paired up with 15 different people, and it was 15 different topics. So I got chance to learn from these 15 different people while while I was pairing up on my testing tour. So let me share a few of the different topics which I got to learn and explore from different people. So it was strong style pairing, testability, AI. I explored performance testing, some of the security testing. Also got chance for learning about building CI pipeline, sketchnoting, and sketchnoting. Yes, it was one of the topic which I think I would have never learned on my own, or which I would have never started. So it's such a nice way of visualizing your note taking. So I learned this while I was on my testing tour. And pair programming with developers, I think we always within the team get chance to pair up with our developers, but by going on a testing tour, it helped me to pair with different developers outside my team and to see how they see different challenges and how they try to work together. And another topic was observability. And talking about surprises, this was one of the surprise for me because I never came across this topic before I went on testing tour, and now I'm really deep diving into this topic to learn about more. So by sharing these topics, I don't mean that I learn everything about these topics within one session within by having this testing tour, but it's all about getting to know the initial introduction, or maybe trying to understand the known topics as well. So it's all about trying to get an introduction about the topic. So I got chance to learn known and unknown topics. So I've been talking a lot about planning and having these sessions remotely or virtually. So let me share some of the tools that I used that helped me throughout my testing tour. So those were like Zoom. I use Zoom for a video call because it's such an easy tool which allows us for screen sharing, and it allows us for giving control to each other when we are trying to pair, remote pairing. And Google Calendar. Yeah, I never used Google Calendar so extensively before. So now it's kind of my go-to place if I have to look my schedule for my week and how it looks like to arrange my pairing up session. And Trello board, it really helped me to see what's been scheduled and what's been done and what's upcoming on my list. And it was also one of my to-do lists. Whenever I came across any new topic, I would just add it on my Trello board. So it really helped me organize my sessions. And of course, like notebook. Yeah, I'm a big fan of taking notes. I'm still an old school style of taking notes, writing down notes. And I used to take down notes during each session, as that was really helpful for me to use while writing my blog post for each session. So yeah, it was yeah. So yeah, I shared what topics did I learn and like what exactly testing tour is. But what did I learn? Like what did I learn from this whole testing tour? So I got to learn new topics which I never came across, or which I might have never tried to learn on my own. And I learned to form new opinions on the known topics. Like it was not something like always learning about new topics, but also because I was a solo tester always, I got to learn different ways of new perspective on the same known topics, where it allowed me to form new opinions about it. And networking and collaboration, which really helped me. I met new people, I met known and unknown people, and I kind of collaborated with them. And learning was nothing. It was not just learning and forgetting about it, but it was more of like whatever I was learning throughout these sessions, I was applying on my current project, which I'm working on, or at my work. And blogging was one of the biggest thing which I learned, which I would have never started off with if it was not for testing tour. So it also allowed me to get out of the comfort zone by reaching out known and unknown people if they're interested in pairing up with me to learn about new tools or new technologies. And the most important thing was that I realized when I reached out to the people on on Twitter or LinkedIn, they all were really very interested to offer their help. And in fact, few people reached me out to join my testing tour, which really motivated me. And getting to know other people's challenges, and it allowed me to know what kind of different challenges are they facing and what kind of experiences are they going through. And it was about getting to know more people on even on the personal level as well. So it was it was not just for me, but it was worth it for both of us who were pairing, who were on the testing tool, who I was pairing with. So the next question you might be thinking of is like, was it really worth it going through all this testing tour journey? And the answer for me is yes, yeah. And the reasons are like these one, like this one really big impact for me was like I started blogging. So how many of you all here like thinking of blogging but never been able to start that, or maybe you started off and you had to give up, or maybe you wanted to start but you never knew what to blog about. But this testing tour journey for me actually helped me to blog, because one was the reason was I can document everything before I forget it, because I really have a bad memory, and it also allows me to share what I've been learning to the community, so that even other people can learn from it. And and it was not just helpful for me but helpful for other people when I was sharing with everyone, because they all a lot of people got inspired and they started their own testing tours as well. So if you really want to see, if you're really interested to see the who else have been already done their testing tour, or who else have been doing the coding tour, you can search on Twitter by hashtag testing tour or hashtag coding tour, because it's not just about learning about testing, but you can learn about anything. It's not about like just testing. You can learn on coding, you can go for a DevOps tour, you can go for an agile tour, it could be anything. And I want to share who is the inspiration behind this. So Lissy Hawk, she's one of the tester from Germany, whom I got inspired by when I attended her talk where she shared her testing tour journey. So I got so inspired by that I started my own testing tour. So before I finish, I just want to give one small statement, like one small phrase here, like which really helped me. Like, ask for help. Don't get stuck alone when you're learning something. Like, people are really, if you need to ask for help, people are all like ready to help us. So um, my testing tour has not yet ended. I'm still on my testing tour. So if anyone is interested to join me on my testing tour, if or anyone is interested to know more about it, or if anyone is interested to start their own testing tour, please feel free to reach me. And I am available on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and you can reach me out, and you can check out my blog post as well, where I have shared all the blogs or whatever I have been learning throughout my testing tour. And really, thank you so much for listening to my story. And being in this conference, like attending so many different people's talk, already inspired me. And I'm really thank you so much for attending my session. And I'm happy to answer any questions if you have. Like, even if the session finishes, I'm happy to answer your questions. Are there any specific topics you would like to pair on? I think I'm open for to answer this question. Yeah, I'm open for any topics, because that's what I started off being on specific topics, but then I was very open to pair on any topics. So that gave me even more like opportunity to learn something new, which I never heard of or which I've never worked on. So I'm really open and interested to pair up on any topic. How much time? How much time did you spend writing your blog post? The question is, how much time do you spend writing your blog? Is it a big commitment? It depends, I think, for me, because when I was starting off, like when I was completely new and I was starting off, as I said, I never blogged before much. So initially, it took a bit of time for me to, articulate all of my learnings into a blog post and share it. But then, as I was going along, I kept writing and I kept getting used to, like, it was just and making me myself comfortable that I'm just trying to share what I'm learning. So that's where it got became even more easier to write a blog post. And it took me like, it depends how much time you will spend. For me, it was like, initially I tried to be very perfect, and I tried like spend like maybe like 2-3 days on it and try to be perfect on it. But then slowly, when I realized that, okay, it's just for notes, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about me sharing what I'm learning from my session. So that's where I started got used to like writing very quickly, maybe like in 3-4 hours if I spend my time on it. And because it depends again on how much notes I take as well. So yeah, initially it feels like it's a big commitment, but when you get used to it, it's really fun, like. Okay, thank you all who has joined my session, and like you were here even though I like you were not being able to see my slides, so thank you so much for that.